The Humiston family believed they were safe inside their own home. But in a single night, the entire house became a scene of unimaginable horror. Bodies were discovered across multiple rooms, blood covered the floors. And investigators quickly realized this was not a random attack. The killer knew exactly what they were doing. For years, the brutal massacre shocked investigators and terrified the community, because the person responsible appeared completely normal until the horrifying truth was finally uncovered. Before we begin the full story, this channel takes hours of research and careful verification to bring you real crime stories that matter. We invest in tools, software, and time to ensure every detail is accurate and meaningful. If you support this work, help us reach 1,000 subscribers this week. Subscribe, like, share. Now back to the story. The Humiston family was known as a quiet and respected family. Neighbors described them as hardworking people who avoided trouble. They lived an ordinary life that seemed peaceful from the outside. Nothing suggested violence or danger surrounding the family. But investigators would later discover hidden tensions beneath the surface. The victims were members of the Humiston family, all attacked inside their own home. The brutality of the crime stunned experienced investigators. Some victims appeared caught completely off guard. Others may have tried desperately to survive. Police immediately knew the murders were personal. The crime scene was horrifying from the moment officers entered the house. Furniture had been knocked over. Several rooms showed signs of violent struggle. Blood evidence stretched through different parts of the home. Detectives realized the attack likely lasted longer than expected. One detail immediately disturbed investigators. There were no signs of forced entry. No broken windows, no damaged locks, no evidence of a break-in. This suggested the victims either knew the killer or willingly opened the door to them. Police secured the property and launched a full investigation. Detectives carefully photographed every room. Forensic teams searched for fingerprints, footprints, fibers, and weapon evidence. Every detail inside the house became important. But the killer had been surprisingly careful. Investigators quickly faced a major problem. The crime scene contained enormous amounts of blood and movement. This made evidence collection extremely difficult. Some clues became contaminated during the chaos. Other evidence was simply impossible to identify clearly. I know you still haven't subscribed, so press the red button now, because the next real crime story could be even darker. Subscribe for more shocking investigations, courtroom mysteries, hidden evidence, and true crime cases that reveal the darkest side of human nature. At the time, forensic technology was far more limited than today. DNA analysis was either unavailable or extremely restricted. Detectives relied heavily on witness interviews and physical clues. This made the investigation slower and far more frustrating. Every mistake could cost them the case. As news spread, fear exploded throughout the community. Families began locking doors earlier at night. Parents feared a dangerous killer was still nearby. Rumors spread rapidly across town. Nobody knew who to trust anymore. Police began building a list of everyone connected to the Humiston family. Friends, relatives, co-workers, neighbors, anyone who may have had conflict with the family became a possible suspect. Investigators discovered the family had experienced personal tensions before the murders. There were reports of disagreements involving money and relationships. Some people connected to the family had grown anger toward them. Detectives believed motive would become critical in solving the case, but proving motive alone was not enough. Witnesses described suspicious behavior around the time of the killings. Some reported strange vehicles near the property. Others claimed they heard unusual noises during the night. But many statements conflicted with one another. Sorting truth from rumor became extremely difficult. Detectives spent countless hours reconstructing the final known movements of the victims. Who spoke to them last? Who visited the house recently? Who knew the family's schedule? These questions became central to the investigation. Investigators also studied the attack itself carefully. The violence suggested intense emotion. This did not appear to be a robbery gone wrong. Nothing significant had been stolen. Police increasingly believed the killings were driven by rage or personal hatred. One terrifying possibility soon emerged. The killer may have spent time inside the home before the murders. Detectives wondered whether the suspect understood the layout of the house. The attack appeared too organized for a stranger unfamiliar with the property. That realization narrowed the suspect pool dramatically. Weeks passed with no arrest. Public pressure grew stronger every day. Newspapers heavily covered the murders. People demanded answers from police. But investigators kept hitting dead ends. Some detectives feared the killer might escape justice permanently. Without strong forensic evidence, prosecutors could struggle in court. Investigators needed a mistake, one inconsistency, one detail the killer overlooked. Police re-interviewed several individuals connected to the family. During these interviews, investigators noticed troubling inconsistencies. Certain timelines no longer matched physical evidence. Some stories changed over time. Detectives began focusing intensely on one particular suspect. The suspect initially appeared calm and cooperative, but investigators believed the behavior was misleading. Some detectives felt the suspect was carefully controlling emotions during questioning. Others noticed unusual reactions when discussing specific victims. These details increased suspicion dramatically. The investigation slowly became psychological warfare. Detectives carefully applied pressure during interviews. They compared old statements against new evidence. They searched for contradictions. And eventually, cracks began appearing in the suspect's story. Meanwhile, forensic investigators continued reviewing evidence from the crime scene. Even tiny clues became important: blood patterns, footwear impressions, possible weapon marks. Everything was analyzed repeatedly. One major breakthrough changed the direction of the case completely. Investigators uncovered evidence connecting the suspect more closely to the timeline of the murders. The suspect could no longer fully explain certain movements and actions. Detectives believed they were finally approaching the truth, but making an arrest still carried huge risk. If prosecutors failed in court, the killer could walk free forever. Police needed overwhelming evidence before moving forward. Investigators continued building the case piece by piece. Every detail mattered. The emotional impact on the community remained devastating. Friends and neighbors struggled to understand how such violence happened so close to home. People who once felt safe suddenly lived in fear. The massacre permanently changed the town's sense of security. As the investigation deepened, detectives uncovered more disturbing information about the suspect's relationship with the family. There had been unresolved anger and emotional conflict. Some people later described warning signs they ignored earlier. Investigators believed the murders may have been building toward violence for a long time. Police eventually felt confident enough to proceed. The suspect was taken into custody. The arrest shocked many people in the community. Some could not believe someone seemingly ordinary could commit such brutality. Others felt the arrest finally explained the hidden tensions surrounding the family. The case quickly moved into court proceedings. Prosecutors described the murders as deliberate and deeply personal. Graphic evidence from the crime scene revealed terrifying violence inside the home. Jurors listened carefully as investigators explained the timeline. The courtroom atmosphere became extremely tense. Witness testimony became critical during the trial. Several people described suspicious behavior connected to the suspect. Investigators explained how inconsistencies in statements exposed deception. Forensic experts connected physical evidence back to the suspect's movements. The prosecution slowly built its case step by step. The defense attempted to challenge the investigation. Attorneys questioned evidence collection and witness reliability. They argued parts of the case relied too heavily on interpretation. But prosecutors insisted the combined evidence clearly pointed toward guilt. One of the most chilling parts of the trial involved reconstructing the final moments inside the house. Investigators explained how the attack unfolded room by room. Some victims may have tried escaping. Others may never have understood what was happening until it was too late. The details horrified the courtroom. As the trial continued, public attention intensified. People packed the courtroom waiting for updates. Newspapers closely followed every testimony and revelation. The case had become one of the region's most disturbing murder investigations. Eventually, the jury reached a verdict. The decision marked the end of a long and painful investigation. For the victims' loved ones, it brought some measure of justice. But nothing could erase the horror of what happened inside that house. Even after the case ended, the Humiston Family Massacre continued haunting investigators. Many officers later admitted the crime scene was among the most disturbing they had ever witnessed. The brutality, emotional violence, and psychological impact stayed with them for years. The massacre also became a warning about hidden rage and personal conflict. From the outside, the family's life appeared completely ordinary. But investigators later uncovered tensions nobody fully understood at the time. That hidden darkness eventually exploded into unimaginable violence. A trusted home became a slaughter scene, a family was destroyed forever, and a killer nearly escaped justice completely. The Humiston Family Massacre remains one of the most chilling examples of how dangerous hidden hatred can become. If justice still matters to you, subscribe and stand with us, because silence helps criminals. Every story deserves to be heard. Every victim deserves justice. Stay aware, stay safe.